times before. So the cause and effect is a strategy that can help you to understand the passage or the story. Cause and effect is when something makes something else happen. So usually something happened because something else needed happened, right? Like if we decide to go to a picnic, but it's raining now. So what will we do? We will cancel our picnic. Why? Why did we cancel our picnic?
Because the rain.
Because of the rain. Excellent.
Because it's raining.
Because it's raining. Wonderful. So cause is why something happened, and the effect is the result of what happened. Okay? For example, if it's raining, what will we do? We need to use our
umbrella.
Excellent. So the first thing is called the cause. The rain is the cause. And the second thing, what did we do because of the rain? We used our umbrella. The second thing called the effect, or what happens after the cause is the effect. Okay, so the effect is what happens in the story, and the cause is why something happens. So why did it happen? It rained. What did we do? We used our umbrella. Look at here. What happens to the ice cream?
It's melted.
It's
melted.
It's
melted.
From the sun. Excellent.
From the sun.
The cause or the effect? Wait. The cause or the effect, it melted, is the effect. Why? Because, so what is the cause? Because of what?
Because what sun?
Because of the sun or the heat of the sun. So usually something happens because something else made it happen. So the ice cream melted because of
the sun.
Look at here. Why did this girl fall down? Why did she?
Because her shoes were untied.
Excellent. Because her laces were untied. So untied. So where is the cause and where is the effect? This is the cause. And this is
the
effect. Excellent. So what's the meaning of cause and effect?
It means cause the reason.
Excellent, wonderful. The cause is the reason, and the effect, what happened because of it.
But the effect, what we do.
Wonderful.
to do.
Excellent, Rafif, and excellent, Laura. Abdulaziz and Dana, turn on your cams. Okay, for example, I want to ask you something. Can a cup just bake on its own? Can it bake just by its own, by itself?
No.
Without any
No.
So that would be crazy if it could bake by itself, right? So we should ask, what could cause a cup to bake? What could happen first? Maybe someone drops it down. This is the cause. The effect, the cup bakes, right?
What the effect say? What you said?
I said, for example, if you get inside the kitchen and you found a broken cup, could that happen by itself? Or you will ask, who broke it? Right? You will ask, who broke this cup? Because it cannot happen without a cause. It needs a cause, right?
Yeah, but
if someone drop it, it will break. But if no one touch it, it will not break, right? It cannot just explode by itself. That would be crazy, right?
Miss, can I have... But what is the effect?
Can you use the umbrella if there is no rain?
No, wait.
You will not use the umbrella if there is no rain.
Yes.
Okay.
What is the
For
effect?
example, if you get a full mark, what is the reason? If you get a full mark, the reason will be
Study hard.
excellent, wonderful. So you can say, I got the full mark because I study hard.
I study
I
hard.
was listening to the teacher. Now get your turn practice book and open page number 183.
Miss, can I say something?
Yes, Khalid, of course.
I'm doing like this. Miss, you know what sometimes my sister say?
What she said?
She says sometimes
She said.
girls go to college to get more knowledge. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupid. She sees to that.
I didn't hear you.
I say my sister says to me,
Said.
girls go to college to get more knowledge. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. She told me like that.
Very nice. Okay, open your turn practice book on page number 183. Let me open my book. But I want you to concentrate because you will answer the questions. 183. Read the passage. Use the reread strategy to be sure you understand what you read. Wanting, in the beginning, let's read the title. History of human flight. Wanting to fly like birds. Humans have always wanted to fly, but it took a long time for them to learn how to do it. At first, they tried to copy birds. They made wings out of wood. They attached the wings to their arms and tried to fly. But birds and humans don't have the same muscles, so the wings didn't work. The first big step toward human flight was the kite. The kite was first made in China in 400 BC. Some used kites for fun. Others used them to test the weather. Some people wanted to make flying objects that could carry people, so they made balloons and gliders, hot air balloons. The first hot air balloon was silk bag. The bag was filled with smoke from a fire. The hot air made the balloon lighter than the air around it. Because of this, the bag rose into the sky. Rose is the past of raise. Rose into the sky. People attached a basket to the bag. Soon they began to use it to travel. Gliders. The next big step in human flight was the glider. A glider does not float like a balloon. It falls to earth, but it falls so slowly that it stays in the air a long time. Gliders are easier to control than balloons. With gliders, people could fly where they wanted. Turn your page. Several inventors helped improve the glider. George, what's the meaning of a glider? You know what's the meaning of a glider, grade 3? Those are the gliders. You understand now what's the meaning of gliders?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Several inventors helped improve the glider. First, I made a new wing shape. Keep your mic muted, grade 3. Keep your mics muted.
This is from Laura.
Okay. So several inventors helped improve the glider. George Cayley made a new wings
Good
shape. He
afternoon.
also wanted to make the glider more stable. That's why he added a tail. Sorry, Lilienthal made a glider that could fly far. Sam largely focused on ways to power the flight. He put an engine on the glider, really flying. Balloons and gliders made it possible for people to fly, but they didn't let people travel very far. Octave Chantio studied all of the text he could find about human flight. He wrote it all in a book. Two brothers from Ohio read the book. Their names were Wilbur and Orville Wright. Octave's book convinced them that they could make a flying machine. The Wright brothers were great thinkers. First, they did tests with the balloons and kites. Then they learned about wind. They made a glider that worked well in any type of wind. Then they worked on an engine. It had to be strong. After 5 years of study, they used all their knowledge to make a flyer. At 10:35 a.m. on December 17, 1903, the Wright brothers tested their new flyer. It worked. Orville Wright flew 120 feet in 12 seconds. Humans had learned to fly at last. So let's reread it. Then we will answer the questions. But I want you to concentrate. We will use reread strategy. That means we will read it to understand it well. So, history of a human flight. Wanting to fly like birds, humans have always wanted to fly, but it took a long time for them to learn how to do it. At first, they tried to copy birds. They made wings out of wood. They attached the wings to their arms and tried to fly. But birds and humans don't have the same muscles, so the wings didn't work. The first big step toward human flight was the kite. The kite was first made in China in 40 BC. Some used kites for fun, others used them to test the weather. Some people wanted to make flying objects that could carry people, so they made balloons and gliders. Hot air balloons. The first hot air balloon was a silk bag. The bag was filled with smoke from a fire. The hot air made the balloon lighter than the air around it because of this. This is the reason. The bag rose into the sky. People attached a basket to the bag. Soon they began to use it to travel. Glider, the next big step in human flight was the glider. A glider doesn't float like a balloon. It falls to earth. But it falls so slowly that it stays in the air a long time. Gliders are easier to control than balloons. With a glider, people could fly where they wanted. Turn your page. Several inventors helped improve the glider. George Kelton made a new wing shape. He also wanted to make the glider more stable. That's why he added a tail. Otley Lenthal made a glider that could fly far. Sam Langley found, Langley focused on ways to power the flight. He put an engine on the glider, really flying. Balloons and gliders made it possible for people to fly, but they didn't let people travel very far. Octave Chantio studied all of the text he could find about human flight. He wrote it all in a book. Two brothers from Ohio read the book. Their names were Wilbur and Orville Wright. Octave's book convinced them that they could make a flying machine. So the Wright brothers were great thinkers. Thinkers. First they did tests with balloons and kites. Then they learned about wind. So they made a glider that worked well in any type of wind. Then they worked on an engine. It had to be strong. After 5 years of study, they used all their knowledge to make a flyer. Look at it, the Wright brothers' first flyer. You can see it in the picture here. After 5 years of study, they used all their knowledge to make a flyer. At 10:35 a.m. on December 1793, the Wright brothers tested their new flyer. It worked. It worked. Orville Wright flew 120 feet in 12 seconds. Humans had learned to fly at last. Now, reread the passage. We reread it already and answer the question. When people made wings out of wood, why did they not work? Why they didn't work?
Because they didn't have the same
Because
muscles.
they didn't have the same muscles.
Wonderful,
They
excellent.
tried to
Excellent. This
copy
is the
birds.
cause and effect.
But
Wonderful.
birds and human do not have the same muscles.
Amazing, wonderful. Let's find it here. But birds and humans don't have the same muscles. So this is the reason. Let's write it because the people and birds have different muscles. So let's write now. We wrote the date. Okay. So let's write they didn't work because birds and the humans don't have the same. Let's erase here. I think there is no one absent today. Are you here, Wahiba?
Yes, teacher.
It's your turn on your camera, Wahiba, please. Okay, according
Okay, teacher,
to
I'll finish it. I write it on the home.
Excellent. Why did people make balloons and the gliders? Why?
Some wanted to make flying objects that could carry people.
Amazing, wonderful, Laura. Let's find it here. It's here. I want you to underline it with me. Some people wanted to make flying objects that could carry people. This is the reason. Find it, underline it, and let's write it. So the effect, what's the effect and what's the reason? The effect was make balloons and gliders, and the reason because they want to make flying objects that could carry people. So they made balloons and gliders because balloons and gliders because they wanted to make flying objects that could carry. Thank you, Laura. Excellent. But give your friends a chance, okay? I want the rest to answer. Number 3. According to the section, hot air balloons, what caused the silk bags to rise into the sky? Let's look at the paragraph. Excellent, Laura, but I want the rest. Let's look at the paragraph here. Hot air balloons. In the beginning, let me erase here. There's something. Let me erase it, the effect and the cause. Let's use the pencil. Here they said the first hot air balloons
The first hot air and balloons was
filled. So this is the
bag.
reason. The
bag was filled with smoke from a fire.
Excellent. Which
The hot air made the balloons lighter than the air around it.
It's amazing. So this
Yes,
is
I do it, Rafif.
wonderful, Rafiq. Excellent. And this is number 2, and we erased number 1 before.
Teacher,
Yes.
you made a mistake.
What is it?
You wrote care. You wrote double Y.
Double Y, not double R. Yes, I know. Because I wrote very fast.
Double?
Okay.
Miss,
Thank you. Thank
Miss,
you, Lujane. Excellent.
you made a mistake. You see the word carry? You made 2.
Okay, because I didn't look at the screen when I wrote, at the letters, I mean. I was looking at the screen, but I didn't see the mistake. Thank you, Lujane. Okay, so they rose into the sky because they were filled with smoke, which made the balloon lighter than the air around it. Let's write it. They rose into the sky because they were filled with what? Filled with what?
You wrote V in the carry also. Instead
Which
Y,
equation? Okay, which equation?
carry, the same word, carry.
What
You did
about it?
RV.
No, it's
RV.
not V. Really? Oh, okay. Thank you.
The Y from the bottom, it's erased.
Okay, wait. No, it's Y, but I don't know why it looked like V. Look, it's Y or it's
I don't
Y. It's Y, but I don't know
You
why.
write 2R, double R.
Yes, it should be double R, Rafif. But it's Y here, not V. I already wrote it as Y. Okay, it's filled with the smoke, which make it what? Which made it lighter than the air around it. Okay. Hissa, mute your mic, Hissa.
sorry.
Hissa, mute your mic. Keep your mic muted, Hissa. Okay, number 4. What was the effect of the Wright brother reading Octave Chantis book?
The wind.
They made what? They became convinced that they could make
The
flying machine.
Because.
Let's find it. Let me show you here. They said,
This is the
wait,
last session.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
No, we have social.
Yes, we have social. I don't know if we have another session. Okay, wait. So here their nails were. Here, look. Octave's book convinced them that white grade 3. I can't read all the sentence from here, but okay. Book convinced them that they could make a flying machine. Did you find it? This is number 4. And let's write it here. So they became make a flying machine. Quickly grade 3 because we have only one session today.
Miss, and that one